Hey everyone, welcome back. Another new day here. I don't even know what day it is. Oh, it's Saturday. That's what it is. So I've been working away on this thing, trying to get some more of the small stuff taken care of. And what I got done was the tail lights and turn signals installed. Had to do a little bit of modifying inside the hole where the tail lights go, just so that I could get the those upgraded plugs in there. Or sockets, I guess it is. So on these 03 Silverados, and I think some of the other ones, they had a separate turn signal, so you can't wire everything together. It can't use a joint brake light turn signal. If you try and do that, I guess what'll happen is when you put your foot on the brake, it'll turn on a corresponding turn signal on the front here. So what I've done is I bought some really bright little oval shaped LEDs, one for each side, and I'll just show you here. Turn some tail lights on. We got the tail lights, got brake lights, and then we've got the turn signals here. So I do have an electronic flasher coming for LEDs. It'll slow that down so that I don't have the hyper flash. So I've got that done. I did take it for another drive, warmed it up, and I'm still getting way rich. I checked everywhere for a vacuum leak with no luck finding that. I sprayed everywhere with some good brake clean that's highly flammable. Couldn't find anything. And it's also backfiring out the intake. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe camshaft position sensor or something. But it just seems funny. It ran good before the swap and everything. And now we got issues. So I went through the HP tuner stuff. I can't find anything in there. So I might have to get a mechanic buddy to come and take a look at it. Maybe he can bring his scanner and he can figure out what's going on. But pissing me off. We'll carry on here. Okay, we're back. Another Sunday morning. I got 2 good coats of rubberized rock guard on my step on the driver's side now. So that's all done. And cleaning up some more at the back here. This new panel, the filler that I put in because I had to raise the bed 5 inches. I got the flash rust off of it. Good coat of primer. I'm just going to do some seam sealing on it now. Something I should have done before, but this end of the box was way up in the air when I was working on it. So I'm just using Dominion Sure Seal adhesive sealant. All I did was open this thing and I already got seam sealer all over my frickin' hands. So this stuff's just like baby shit. Pretty boring shit. I hate caulking. Just going to keep going across the back, get this all done, and then we'll carry on with the next part. All the seam sealing's done across the back here. It's all good to go. So the next elephant in the room is my tailgate, get it right, dilemma. And I've looked high and low for a good used one. There's nothing out there. There's some Chevy ones, but I don't want a Chevy one because I want a GMC one because I have a GMC truck. And this is the mess I have. You can see it's got a nasty bend in it there. The top is completely pooched. It is just hammered. It's all full of rust across here on the inside, as well as on the So let me get rid of my coffee here. Sorry about that. See if I can flip this thing over one-handed without killing myself. So there's the, that's all the rust. The bottom's got a few dings in it, not terrible. And this is completely curved. It's supposed to be flat. And so I don't know what to do here. She's pretty rough. You can see that nasty dent. But I've been through everything else. I might as well see if I can try and fix this. So this is the next thing we're going to attack. Not quite sure what my plan's going to be to do it. But we'll see what happens. See if we can get it looking better than it is. Okay, so I've been beating on this with a block of wood and a BFH here for about 10 minutes. That's the shit pile that came out of it. And it's shown a whole lot more rust here. So the inside, where the outer folds down, is just a big pinch point for dirt and shit. That's why it's rusted out. So the inner skin is rusted out all the way across the bottom. I'll just flip it over here again. Oh, there goes some more. So, sorry about that. So come around this way. And you can see it's completely rusted out across the bottom here too. So what I'm thinking is there's kind of a relief in the steel right here where it goes down, and then this one is plug welded over top of it. So kind of what I'm thinking here is I'm going to do a cut right here all the way across, and I'm going to cut the inside skin away up to good metal, and then I'm going to get rid of these plug welds. I'm going to try and leave about 1/4 of an inch lip on the inner piece here so that I can weld a new piece on, and that seam will be hidden behind this one. I don't have the ability here to bend anything more than 51 inches long, and this is 63. So that's my reasoning for cutting it here. This bend down here, I think I can do on my I-beam. It's just about 3/4 of an inch, 45-degree bend. I think I can handle that. And then we'll be able to repair this rust, flip it over one more time, get rid of some more crap. And on the inside, I will probably come up to this line here, and like I said, down to where this seam's going to be. That'll open this whole thing up. It'll give me access to straighten out this nasty bend and straighten out the top edge of the tailgate. That'll also give me some strength here to get this pounded down and bring it back up. Right now, this is stopping it from coming up, as well as not having anything to pound on here. So, okay, we're going to dissect this and see what we end up with. Wow, what a mess. That's all the shit that came out of that tailgate. Holy cow. No wonder it was so heavy. So I got this all cut off. When I cut here, what I ended up with is this nice little lip left. That's where this piece overlapped and plug welded. So now I can weld flush to this, and the seam will end up underneath my the piece that comes down here. I have left to do here is grind off these farmer welds. They probably stick welded it. It's a real ugly mess where it's all cracked here on both sides. Same thing up here. I'll have to clean that up. And then next thing will be getting this ugly dent out of the top here, trying to get this all straightened out, and then I can make that the 2 repair pieces. So on the inside, I'll show you what I cut out. Try not to have this on the floor. So that's what I cut out there. That's that little raised section. Again, I can weld it to what's left on both sides here, but now I've got really good access for cleaning this all out. So, okay, we'll get at her. Okay, we're going to start working on this dent. What I've done is I clamped a piece of square tubing onto this bottom edge, because as I'm prying on it, I don't want to bend this. I want to keep that fairly straight. So what I'm going to do is use the heat wrench. I'm going to heat this up, and I'm going to use some pry bars and see if I can start to get this edge of the dent out so that I can get in there to drive that part of it down. I don't know if you guys use propane or oxyacetylene for your heating and cutting. I use propane, way more economical. That 30-pound propane bottle there has been on there about 16 years and it's still half full. So we'll just see what we can do here. Would be nice to have a second person. One of you guys want to come and help? To be honest, I don't know how this is going to work. This is pretty ugly. Different bars, see if that helps. Kind of fighting two directions at the same time here, so. Come up a bit, and then I can try and bring this down. Okay, I'll just keep working at this. We'll see what happens. Okay, I just keep using the old saying, heat, beat, and repeat, and it's slowly coming back. There's a long ways to go yet. I've got to figure out how to clamp this thing down so that I'm not chasing it all over the place here. So that'll be next. See if I can get it figured out how to get it clamped down so I can beat on it a little bit better. Okay, after about another hour of beating, using pretty much every piece of steel and hammer I got in the shop, you can see it's coming along pretty nice. I've got most of the dent rolled out of it. I now have to get this edge to roll nice and then straighten out this lip along the top here. That's the part that's given me some issues. So I'm just going to keep using whatever I've got here. You can see right here, this has to come out to square up that corner. And I'm never going to get it perfect, and I don't want it perfect. But it's way, way better than it was. And I think I've gone from a piece of garbage scrap metal to a tailgate that I can use. Okay, everyone, still pounding away on this tailgate. I got pretty much all of the dent worked out, and what I'm doing is just working on the outer piece for the to fill in where I cut out all of that rust. I made a pattern, just a short piece, 2 45-degree bends on it. It sits on this lip here just like the factory one did, and then this was plug welded through. So I will end up, when I put the back piece on, I'm going to drill the holes and plug weld it from the back side. So this goes, if I can get it in here, something like that. And then it gets pulled up tight. And what I'm going to do is just, it's lapped, but I don't really care. I'm just going to weld it across there, as well as on the inside here, just to give it some added strength. So because this is 63 inches long, I can't bend the piece, so I'm having to make it in 2 pieces. So I'm just going to make a shorter piece now that'll go in here, and then I can get that all welded up, flip it over, and then I can do the filler piece on the inside. The outside piece is all ready for welding. I got both chunks in. I got them nice and flush in the center here. Tailgate's pretty straight. It's not going to be perfect by any means, but there's nothing on this truck that's perfect. The rest of this tailgate's still in pretty bad shape. There's spots that are cracked. Top and bottom I'm going to have to weld up. The end cap here is bent out a little. I'll have to pull that in. So I'm going to weld this across the top now, all the way across, and then I can start fabricating the inside piece and get it straightened out there so I can get it welded in. That top lip up there on the inside is still pretty irregular. Back again, another new day, so still working on this beat up tailgate. I got quite a bit of progress done. I've got the front strip, or the rear strip I guess, the face strip, all welded in. And I'm just doing the fill-in panel on the beat-up piece that I took out of the inside of the tailgate. So the way I've gone about this is I took a piece of 18 gauge, I broke it at 90 degrees, and the reason for that is this edge is fairly wavy from all of the damage. I got it straightened the best I could, but what I was afraid of is anywhere there's still stress in that when I start welding it to this filler piece, which I've already got tacked in, the first half of it. I was afraid it was going to start doing really weird stuff. So what I did was I broke this piece at 90 degrees, 1 inch, and it pokes straight in, and it stays about ½ an inch away from the outer skin on the tailgate. So any shit that falls in there or gets in there will fall down and come out the drain holes here. So the way this goes in, I've got it drilled for plug welds, and it sits just underneath this lip, the original brake that was in this for strength. If I can get this in here without dropping it, kind of a pain. Get some junk out of there. These 25-pound magnets are really good for this kind of stuff. But man, do they hold on once they're on. Some magnets in here. That's good. This will be good over here. Okay. A little bit of adjusting to do. Nothing major. Get this up closer here so that So what I've been doing is, once I get this tack welded flush with the other panel, I'll put a pair of vice grips on here and it just pulls it in slightly and tightens up this little bit of a gap. So I'm going to get busy, get this one tacked in, do all the welding, and then I've just got a whole whack of grinding to do, and the tailgate repair will be done. All welded up. It's strong. I did get impatient and I just welded. I warped the ever-living crap out of that patch I put in there, and I put a bit of a bow in the tailgate. Not worried about it. I'm going to use my hoist as a press. I'll just put a 2x4 under each side and one in the center here, and I'll let the hoist down on it until that top edge is straight, and that should pull a lot of that wave out of that piece of the tailgate. If it doesn't, I'm okay with it because it's far from perfect. Okay everyone, so that's the crap I cut out of that tailgate. Rusted out pile of shit. Like I say, this tailgate was headed for the scrap bin, and now it's actually functional on the truck. Doesn't even look real bad. It's not a perfect job by any means. It did get warped some. The warpage is mostly on the inside. I have to tighten up these strappy things here that hold it on. They're kind of bent up so it's not holding it in tight. I'm thinking I'm going to put some foam on the back of these just to hold it in. The back edge has still got a little bit of a swale in it. I'm not going to deal with that. I don't want to take a chance on collapsing it and making it worse. And the inside, as you can see, not perfect, but it's going to work. There's not a whole lot about this truck that is perfect, so that means I'm going to be able to drive it without worrying about it. So the other good news is the fuel injection seems to be fixed. It was the pressure regulator. I'll do a little bit of video on that in the next couple of days here. So I'm going to call that good for this video, and I think it's a fairly long one. So let me get you in the tripod here. I want to really thank everybody for all your support and all the comments and everything you guys leave. We're up to 1,270 subscribers, number I never thought was in my future, so pretty happy with that, and hopefully I can keep content coming to you guys. I still got next week I'll be starting on the doors. This weekend's going to be a write-off with the friends that are coming. And get the doors done, get some glass in this thing, and let's go driving. So thanks a bunch, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.